Well, welcome everybody to today's 12-step roadmap training, where we are here to help you achieve accelerated results in your business. And I am so thrilled and excited that each and every one of you are with us today. We are just thrilled to be bringing you this 12-step roadmap training. This is a 52-week training process that is going to help you really achieve accelerated results. And so today we are in step 1 of the 12-step roadmap. I'm going to invite each and every one of you, if you have not already checked out 12steproadmap.com, I highly recommend that you check that out at some point. There's tons of information over there, all designed to help move your business to generating accelerated results. So today we're going to be talking about step 1 of the 12-step roadmap again. And today is going to be talking about strategy, coaching, and marketing implementation. So get ready to have a blast with us. So for those of you that are friends of mine or know me and or know Jennifer, let me just take one moment and introduce Jennifer Bagley. Jennifer Bagley is the founder and CEO of CI Web Group. She's also the founder of dnettv.com as well as jenniferbagley.com. She is an international keynote platform speaker as well as one of the most amazing technological thought leaders of our time. And I am so thrilled and honored to have her with us, and she will be driving most of today's training. I'll be kind of piping in to add in where we need fill, or frankly, where I just have an opinion. So, and for those of you that are not familiar with me, my name is Casey Eberhart. I'm the CEO. What?
My turn.
Okay, go.
If you do not know Casey Eberhart, you are missing the boat. Casey is the CEO of DNet, an amazing platform speaker. He's been known across the world as the ideal network. He is one of the most powerful collaborative marketing strategists you could ever imagine. This guy knows how to leverage strategic partnerships, strategic networks, strategic marketing collaboration strategies, and really knows how to come in like a Mack truck. So he's an incredible resource for small and mid-sized business owners that may not have the resources to invest big bucks in their marketing campaigns yet, but they are absolutely positively aggressive about wanting to accelerate their results, and he can show you ways to do that where really levels the playing field, and it gives you the opportunity to compete like the big boys do. So Casey, thank you so much for being with me and for being my friend and my mentor and my partner.
Well, I love it. Well, and the two of us together, you guys, are really here to help you drive massive results. Each one of these training sessions will be done primarily by Jennifer and myself. The cool thing for you guys as an audience member is that we have lined up a very few select amazing special guests that we're not going to release who they are just yet, but just know that on a few of these training sessions we will have some special trainers with us. So this next slide, you guys, there's one small thing. It doesn't mean to say read. It actually means to say creed. It's just a little formatting issue. But this video, you guys, is available for you. This is last week's orientation video that we did. It's found at 12steproadmap.com. And if you miss one of our weekly trainings, you will be sent all 4 for the month at the end of the month. So you won't get them every single week. So if you miss one live, you'll have to wait until the end of the month. But that video is available for you to see as we speak. And if this is your first training or your first event you've done with us, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go back, take an hour out of your day, and go back and watch it so you kind of have some context for this entire training process. So today we're going to start off by talking about vision, and for that I'm going to flip this over to Jennifer and let her talk a little bit about vision, because when I talk about Jennifer as a friend, a collaborator, as a business owner, as not only an entrepreneur but somebody that's out in the world, one of the things that is amazing about being in Jennifer's space is her amazing ability to have vision and clarity. And so I'm going to throw this over to Jen to let her talk a little bit about vision this morning. And with that, Jen,
thank you.
Go.
I actually could use you as the example of this. You have the highest level of clarity when it comes to your speaking career that I believe almost anybody that I know. I see it, it pulls you, it drives you, it motivates you. What this says is the pulling value, the pulling power of clarity equals vision. When you know what you want, when you have an authentic vision, it motivates you. It provides you the power to change your behavior and set benchmarks for success. Casey, I see it in you every day, all the time. If you want to get on a particular stage, you get there. You absolutely have no issue pulling some of the biggest speaking events to be able to get in front of those stages and those audiences. And it pulls you, it drives you. It's from the inside out. All of us have a different thing that motivates us, and this is internally, whether it's your life's mission to become the world's largest HVAC company, or your mission is to become a powerful speaker, or your mission is to own a franchise of cosmetic dentistry companies, whatever that mission is. Or maybe it's to retire, or maybe it's to have the freedom to be able to work from anywhere, or maybe it's to be able to be free to spend time with your grandchildren and your children and so forth, or to travel. Whatever it is that motivates you, something has to pull you. But in order for that to happen, you have to have a tremendous amount of clarity. So you'll hear us talk about that, because with clarity, it will provide us with the ability to focus. Case, you have any other thoughts on vision?
Yeah, I think vision is something that often in business is overlooked because we're so focused on the how-tos that sometimes we forget the why. We forget about where we're actually going and why we want to go there. And so I really look at vision a little bit from the why perspective and what it is that the end goal is. And this is more brainy than I think most people will take it as. This isn't about, I need 5,000 fans on Facebook, I need 65,212 Twitter followers. That's not what this is about. This is about having the vision of what your business and your life looks like, and then the clarity is the pathway to get to that vision. And I just think that's a really important thing. You know, when you're talking about speaking events or writing a best-selling book or getting somewhere, all of that needs to fall into what the vision of your business is and the vision of your life. And so sometimes I think people will focus a little too much on personal or business, and I think there's room for both, and I think that vision needs to encompass the whole package.
Absolutely. You know, I notice when I'm talking to a lot of companies, they spend a tremendous amount of time in a tactical mindset versus a strategic mindset.
That's
So
exactly what I was thinking.
and I heard it in your phrasing. A tactical mindset may take, for example, we have a lot of HVAC companies that are clients of ours, and we're going to focus a little bit on them throughout some of the trainings, because we're taking them really through an extreme change in the way that they present their business to the world. And you know, other companies as well, but we have a particular group of individuals that, I mean, this is an extreme change. Inside this industry, I'm going to use this as an example. A lot of these companies are very family-owned companies. You're talking about 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years of family-owned and operated businesses that are passed down generation to generation to generation. And I'm noticing, as I've consulted with over 600 HVAC companies, over 3,000 hours of time spent with them, that when it comes down to how they spend their time, they definitely spend it in a tactical environment. And when you can switch gears and you can maneuver into more of a strategic environment, you start hearing that the actual tactical moves that they are incurring and doing every single day are preventing them from being able to even start down a mission of gaining more clarity on what they want. So when you get there, you can actually see, you know what, I don't want to be in the business every day. I don't want to be the one that is the tech, the engineer, the finance guy, the one doing accounts payables and receivables. I don't want to also be doing all the sales and marketing and doing the installations and repairs and service and maintenance and everything else. I want to have a life that's different. Or I want my children who are getting into the business, I want them to be able to run the business without the business running them. And so whatever that vision is, it's going to be very important. And we've got an exercise we're going to go through. It's part of your homework assignment after this, to be able to help you identify what your vision is. But you're going to have to gain a lot of clarity to get there.
And you guys, let me jump in here because I've already received a text this morning just in the last 2 minutes. So I will be the guy that if we use an acronym, I will make sure you understand exactly what that acronym is. HVAC, for those of you that are not aware of what HVAC stands for, it actually stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So when we gloss over and we say HVAC, just know that we're talking about contractors that handle heating, ventilation, and air conditioning.
I absolutely need that help. I'm going to give you.
I will rein Jennifer in on acronyms. I promise you guys.
I am an acronym junkie. Always have been. At least it's not my corporate sales, supply chain, or operations acronyms. Those are horrible. Okay, awesome. You guys, let's talk about change. And you notice we're focusing this whole step one is really we got to get our minds right. You got to get your mind right. You got to have clarity. We have to create a very clear plan on exactly what you want. So we're going to stay on this topic for just a moment before we get into a tactical environment because this really is going to lay the groundwork. Bottom line is you're going to have to cultivate an attitude of a willingness to change to help you better navigate the reality of change. We're in an environment where change is a reality. It is a constant. Most business owners, when I'm talking to them, what they see is far different than what is real. What I mean by that is the perception or the belief window that you're looking through has a whole bunch of fog and clouds all over it. If I actually removed all of the clouds off of your window and you had a clear view onto what the future is and how quickly that future is going to become the present, it would probably, well, I'm going to say you might need meds. So we have to be very careful. We all operate based on having a belief system that we're comfortable with. That is the belief system that is from those people who we surround ourselves with, the media we choose to watch, the books we choose to read, the people we choose to engage with, and so forth. That doesn't mean that that's reality. That means that's your reality. The reality is technology is changing at a more rapid rate than ever in history, that it's going to change even faster than it is now. The way people are communicating, doing research, making their buying decisions is going to change more rapidly now than ever. You have entire community and age groups of people that are changing the way that they communicate in less than a 60 to 90 day time frame. In an entire window, imagine an entire country or an entire population saying, I'm not going to use email anymore. I don't choose to use a phone anymore. I'm going to use blank, whatever blank is. That is what we're facing right now. That is real. That is not tomorrow. That's not next year. That's not a decade away from now. That is right now an entire university not operating with email. Entire corporations removing email from the way that they communicate. Entire generations no longer communicating using phone and thinking emails for dead people. So, and I'm only giving you a very small synopsis. Casey, thoughts on change?
Yeah, you know, you guys, this is one of the biggest topics that we could probably spend all year talking about change and the different facets and the different elements of change. You know, I want to use a quick example. You know, my brother owns and operates a company that makes prosthetic legs and braces for amputees. And this is so important to understand. You have to have an attitude of willingness to be able to change. So I have for now 2 years talked to my brother about bringing his company online into the technical environment. And I would always lead with, Chad, are you open to taking a look at what's online? And he always says, no, I'm focused. I've got my vision. I'm focused. I don't want any distractions. I don't want to do anything. And I said, okay, I'm just telling you that there's a big piece of the pie that's online, and if you would take a peek at it. And he cut me off every single time. This past holiday season, I had that same conversation with him. And he finally said, "You know what, Case? Let me take a look online." That attitude of his willingness to change and willingness to open his mind a bit. Now he's willing to explore something in a whole new world that he never thought possible as well. So don't. We're gonna talk about distractions and focus in a second, but don't mistake. You have to know that you have to change. You have to have a willingness to change. I used to stand on stage all the time, and I was so focused, and I pretended I had this great vision, and I was so unwilling to change. And it wasn't until I actually sat down and said, you know what? I better change. I better add into my focus and my vision an element of change and learning and educating, so that now the world is a completely different perspective. And so when we consult with business owners all day long, one of the things that we evaluate is their ability and their willingness to change. If they have a totally closed mind and they hide under the category of I'm focused, and they have no willingness, no ability to change, no ability to have any flexibility in what they're doing, it's almost like we have to be out, because it is so vitally important. If you are somebody that doesn't like change, you're going to have a struggle. And so I would invite you to change your attitude on change.
Casey, would you agree with this statement? Most people set out to change the world. If you change your mind, you ultimately change the world around you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think it's in about what you bring to the planet, what you bring to your global environment. And, you know, just think about this. If when social media first came on the scene, you guys, when it first came on the scene, if you were focused all your time, energy, and resources on MySpace and Friendster, that was just a few short years ago, you guys. MySpace and Friendster were it. If you claimed that you were so focused and your vision was going to be to take over Friendster and MySpace, where would you be today?
What's
Broke,
Friendster?
and and Jennifer's asking what Friendster is. So change is not always a bad thing. It can be a good thing. Change your attitude towards learning. It can make a vast, huge difference.
All right, you guys. I know we sound like we're beating a dead horse. The biggest thing is change your thinking, change your results. This is probably a huge reason why. I know many of you that are attending.
Jen, can I just, I know I use this example a lot. Let me just give you guys a quick example just that I use personally, because it's so important. I know I'm looking over those of you that are on the call, and there are several of you on here right now that I'm personally connected to. And several of you used to watch me on stage go around the planet, the globe, talking about being low tech, big check. That was kind of my slogan: low tech, big check. If I were to stand on stage and do that today, I would literally be laughed off the stage. Literally laughed off the stage. So if I had no ability or willingness to change and expand and open and pivot, I'd be out. Now it's high tech, even bigger check. So I say that to you guys from a perspective of you have to evolve. And that's all change really is it's evolving. It's both in attitude, tactical, strategy, and vision. And there's no better example of somebody that changes quick and fast than Google itself. And so we put up a slide today of just a few of the major changes that Google has made over the course of the last year. So Jen, take it away.
Absolutely. You guys, sometimes change occurs in the form of how you think, sometimes in strategy, sometimes it occurs in your products. Imagine if you had a business that was solely focused on being a photographer and selling print pictures. So you went to a wedding, you took all the pictures, and as soon as you sat down and you had your hundreds of dollars in print photos, and you planned on selling 6 prints and a whole bunch of wallet-sized pictures and a couple prints to hang on the wall. And the person looked at you and said, no, I just want the CD. Huh?
And we have one of those people on the call with us, and he knows who he is. So
okay, so that was sometimes it occurs in products. Imagine if you were like us. Imagine if you were Casey or I, and we had a business model that was strictly selling content. So we created a membership website. We had you pay a monthly fee, and the monthly fee was only so that you could access the content that we had under the covers or behind the sheets, right? And our competitors, like Casey and I are now, are publicly giving content for free. And we sell actually a service that is not something that anybody else can get online on their own. That makes more sense. Okay, so our products, our services, our thoughts, our mindsets, our strategy has changed over time. Now, Google. Many of you, I know if you're on this call, you've been to our presentations, you're an existing customer of CI Web Group or DNet or 12-Step, or you've seen Casey and I speak, as I said, and there's some connection to you're here because you want to make more money. I love that. Because you want to improve your marketing, you want to generate more leads, you want to increase your conversion rate, you want more qualified opportunities, and so forth. Yes, yes, yes. As we move through the 12-step roadmap, you're going to notice that 11 of the 12 steps are strictly focused on how do you market your business. So this is the infrastructure. We have to prep you for what does that look like. Okay, we can take this 52-week training and repeat the same 52-week training next year, and every slide, every page, every piece of content is going to be different, even if it has the same title and the same 52 weeks. Why? Because technology around us is changing, and so must you. In the SEO world, your websites, many of you are
Search engine SEO, you guys, search engine optimization.
Okay, in the world of SEO, search engine optimization, you guys have a website and or blog. Hopefully it's combined in a WordPress environment, and you've got some content, and you probably are investing in some type of an SEO plan, I'm hoping, or a marketing plan. Let me give you some ideas on what this used to look like and what it looks like now. Let's say you bought your website 3 years ago. I looked at one yesterday. It was an HVAC site. Looked at it yesterday. The site was built 3 years ago. It was built in tables, which is called tabular data. Tables are no longer preferred in Google's requirements for building a website. It wants websites that are built in divs. Okay, 5 years ago, if you wanted to highlight a key phrase on a page, you would put brackets around it and call it bold. Later on, it said, no, I don't want you to call it bold. I want you to call it strong. Later on, it said, no, I don't want you to call it strong. I want you to put a bracket that says emphasize. Google changes its requirements every single month of the entire year. So if you purchased a website 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and you're wondering why it's not performing today, probably because every single month for the last 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, Google has changed the requirements of what it wants to see in the coding of the content and the identification of different elements of the website, in the website itself, and the way content is displayed, in the dynamics of, is your website on a mobile, is it in HTML5, is it in a responsive theme? Every single month, these are major, major changes. If you can imagine, let's say you implemented an SEO campaign 2 years ago, and you were able to get to page 1 of Google for 20 of your top geographically based key phrases. Google makes a change, Panda number 24 comes out, your website drops from page 1 to page 5 on Google. Are you upset? Do you feel like, oh, I just lost 3 years? Let me get your mind right. That's going to happen. It's not going to happen once. It's not going to happen twice. It's going to happen for as long as you're on the internet, and the intervals in between when it's going to happen are going to become shorter and shorter and shorter. Why? Because Google has 1 trillion web pages on the internet that it is interested in classifying and prioritizing to be able to present the best content to the consumer. So let me give you a really good example. I want you to look at, we had the Hummingbird update on August 20th, which was the largest update since the history of Google, namely, as most people say. This was a big shakeup. Web companies all over were scrambling, trying to regain SEO, PageRank results, and all their SERPs. A couple months later, we moved into a new environment with the change called authorship. Everything surrounding authorship. There were many, many companies, businesses that were spending money on a monthly basis on search engine optimization, but they avoided social media marketing because they said for their company that manufactures a specific type of product, somebody that makes diamond cuts, somebody that sells fire equipment, somebody that sells HVAC equipment, whatever it is, they said, you know what, social media is not for me. Well, Google comes back and says, hey, you guys, you did a great job. Over the last 2 years, we've been telling you that content is king. The more you communicate, the more pages you're gonna have inside the drawer. The more pages you have inside the drawer, and the more backlinks you have to those pages, the more those pages are gonna go to the front of Google. So if you want to be found for air conditioning repair Minneapolis or air conditioning installation Denver, If you have 300 pages, blog posts that have variations of the words air conditioning and repair, all in those variations, you're going to own a tremendous amount of real estate. And if there are backlinks coming from other sites pointing to those pages, now they become popular and we're going to move them up to the front of Google. Great part is people listen. We have clients that have been with us for 6, 7, and 8 years that come to trainings. They do exactly what we tell them to. They're great partners. They're not just using us as just a vendor, but they actually are partners with us. They're writing content. They're writing content. They're writing content. As of August of last year, we had many of them on page 1 for up to 40 key phrases. And we're talking good key phrases. Authorship comes in. Authorship take-up, in a nutshell, and I'm not going to go over all the details, basically says, now it has to evaluate out of all of these great authors that listened and bought into, I'm going to have to produce content so that I can be relevant, current, and trusted. Write those things down, relevant, current, and trusted. Relevant is how you label content. Current is how frequently you post content. It's no different than offline. You guys, you are evaluating our ability. Are we current? Do we know current information? Are we talking on a regular basis? Are we presenting on a regular basis? Are we relevant? Do you understand exactly what we're talking about? Probably, some of you are shaking your head no. However, and are we trusted? Do other people trust us? Online and offline are identical. When the authorship shakeup took place, we literally had to go back to our drawing boards. If you can imagine, we had a snowstorm in Texas. We all were locked down for the holidays. Instead of spending the holidays like we thought we were going to, the authorship shakeup literally made us revamp our entire strategy for all of our SEO campaigns, and we had to create an all-inclusive SEO and social media campaigning plan, because now when you're adding content to your site, you are now graded by the popularity of the author on the blog. The popularity of the author on the blog. So let me give you some to-dos right now. You should be blogging using your Gmail account. You should have one Gmail account that is attached to your analytics. It's attached to your business's YouTube account. It's attached to your personal Google Plus profile and your professional business Google Plus page. That Gmail account should be what you log into and register if you're blogging on DNet, which is a distribution and content marketing network. If you're blogging on your own site or third-party sites, you need to make sure that everything is attached to that Gmail account. That Gmail account matters in many ways. One, we have to now focus on increasing the popularity of you as an individual author. How many subscriptions do you have? How many fans do you have? How many followers do you have? How many views do you get on your videos? How many comments do you get on your blog posts? How many blogs are you authoring? How much traffic is to those blogs? How many likes, comments, shares, and grades or stars are you getting on your individual blogs? Do you have, or have you taken the time to set up that author with an avatar? So when you're blogging, it knows you across multiple platforms. Is that Gmail account registered on all your social media accounts? So it's all attached to the same thread. So now, search engine optimization now can no longer have the same amount of relevance without a very, very solid social media marketing campaign. Social media marketing is no longer going to be as effective unless we make one of you a very, very popular author and a very popular person on the internet. Google has to, if you think about it, Google does not care about your website. It doesn't care about you. What it cares about is the consumer that's looking for the best of the best every time they type in a search into Google. Why does SEO take long? Because you're not the only fish in the sea. There's probably anywhere between 100,000 and a few million or a few 100 million pages all trying to get to the same place you are. Difficult? Yes. Do you need to follow the rules? Absolutely. There's so many things that already make it difficult, like making you a rock star online, that you got to have the basics in place. I know that's a lot to cover, you guys, and as Casey said, we just gave you the highlighted major changes that Google has. So let me back up one more. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, you guys, I have two quick thoughts on this. Well, one's a thought and one's an actual quote that I think is genius. First off, I can already hear a couple of you going in your minds, well, I don't like Google. They're the big giant. I don't want to play with Google. Here's the reality. Google, you have to play with them. You don't have it. At this point in time, here we sit today, you really don't have a choice. If you want to play in the alternative search engines and the alternative game, you're going to be left behind. And them's the facts. Period, space, space. That's it. It's pretty much a non-discussion. The second thing is from a quote. I'm a big fan of a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk. He wrote Crush It. He's a thought leader in internet and social media, and he owns Vaynerchuk Media. And one of the things that he talks about quite often is that each and every one of you, each and every one of us, is a media company. Whether you like it or not, what you do, you must operate like a media company. Exactly what Jennifer is talking about. You have videos, you have blogs, you have a social profile, you have social engagement. Without that, you have really nothing. Your online persona, presence, footprint, network, all makes up your media presence. And that's one of the most important distinctions I think you can get is you are a media company.
Absolutely. You guys, so we optimize for Google. We just actually published a blog article because we had somebody come in and say, well, why don't we optimize for Bing and Yahoo? Bottom line, if you primarily focus on the optimization rules and regulations for Google, the great part is you're also going to gain strength on Bing and Yahoo. You're going to make progress on there. When Google makes a major change. So for example, I could pull up DFW security, I could pull up a handful of our clients that when a major Google algorithm changed, they did lose PageRank on specific key phrases in Google's environment, but we were able to maintain a page 1 rank for all of their key phrases on Bing and Yahoo because they didn't come out with the same massive change. They don't have as big of shifts. When they do have an algorithm change, you're not typically going to see 300 websites all move from page 1 to page 40 overnight. So there are some benefits to keeping at least those page placements there. But you guys, the bottom line is too with that, focus on Google and you'll perform well on the others. And when Google makes a big change, you're probably still going to hold your page rank for Bing and Yahoo. And the biggest thing is log into your Google Analytics and go look and see what browsers you're getting the majority of your traffic from. You probably have a page, if you're on a good SEO plan, more than just putting your toe in the water SEO plan, you probably are holding position on Bing and Yahoo for your focused key phrases, even if Google makes a big algorithm change. So it's a great way to at least be able to put yourself in a decent position. If you guys want the 2013 Google algorithm changes, if you just go to 12-step roadmap, you can click on the blog and you can see a list of all of those changes. It also has the 5 common ways that you will mess up an SEO campaign and the 3 reasons why you can't expect instant results on your SEO campaign as well. And here's the author shakeup. There's links, there's great content and information to third-party resources as well. All right, let me flip back here. Next, I want to talk about the basics. I know many people are weighing, what do I do? And, you know, when am I going to get a new website? Or when am I going to jump into social media? Let me just bring things up to speed. Here are the basic baseline things you should have in place as a business owner in 2014. I'm going to date this presentation because somebody is going to come watch this presentation on our YouTube channel in 2018 and call us morons if we don't. So because things are going to change and this is video, so it's permanent. We always have to put a disclaimer on it. I actually do date our videos because we're in the technology environment. Everything can and will be held against us in the digital space 2 years from now because we're going to be dead wrong 2 years from now. I'm just throwing that out there. But all right, with that baseline, you got to be in a responsive website with an integrated blog. Hopefully it's in a WordPress environment. Don't get into a bloatware. Don't ever have somebody custom develop anything. You guys, I didn't put this on here, but we have to talk about having a professional design. I am going to beat myself up over this. For the first 4 or 5 years of our companies being in business, we absolutely spent our money and time on the technical side of the business, on the development aspect, the SEO engineers, a little bit on the social media side, on creating technical tools for our business, CRM integration, and so forth. Where our company absolutely failed, that I will never do again, and I'm so sorry for going this route, is we lacked the expertise and the talent in the design world. So we often came out with designs, logos, banners, and everything else that were designed by the triple F's, friends, family, and fools. I will never do that again. It shows. When you make things yourself, when it's homemade, it absolutely shows that it's homemade. You can see it instantaneously that you built your website yourself. You can see it instantaneously that you pulled up some graphic editor and you tried to make your own logo. This is the internet is your #1 positioning tool and #1 broadcasting engine to reach the largest audience your business will ever see. My recommendation is do it right. 5 years ago, it was expensive as all get out to have a very well-built website done and a very killer branding and design campaign done with a great SEO plan and a great social media strategy. It's not as expensive to do it right now, but your brand matters. And it really took some major mentors of mine beating my head against the wall continuously. I remember, like Casey says, he used to stand on stage and talk about low tech, big check. I remember validating the reason why design didn't matter. Now, if you have budget limitations, please, Jesus, don't spend your money on design prior to development, because you can have a gorgeous design with no traffic and you're not going to get any results anyway. So if you have a budget challenge, absolutely focus on the technical infrastructure and development of the site first, your SEO, your content. Focus on design and conversion strategies later. However, if the budget is not an issue, please do both. Get a professional logo, get a professional design, make sure that your logo and your brand is represented across all of your social media platforms, your websites, your email marketing tools, and through other mediums in your business as well. That's my branding and design rant. With that, mobile apps. You guys, we live on our mobile phones. I'm holding mine in my hand right now. My guess is, pause for one moment, look around. Your mobile phone is probably within about 3 inches of where your hand is right now. I'm sure you can raise your hand and say yes to that. We live in a mobile environment. Having a mobile app and having the ability to text message your customers is a big deal. You have to protect your existing clients by putting a mobile app on their phone. You're keeping your existing customers off of Google, where they have options. So very, very important, you guys, if you haven't downloaded the 12, let me give my sales pitch in. If you have not downloaded the 12-Step Roadmap mobile app yet, please do so by going to your Android Play Store or your local app store. I need to stop. Okay. So, mobile app, absolutely. You got to have a strong social media footprint. You have to have a killer SEO plan. You can't have an SEO plan without a social media footprint anymore. You should be absolutely collecting email addresses. You should absolutely be leveraging email marketing. I fought this one tooth and nail because I personally don't like getting emails because I get tens of thousands of them a day. However, I have, again, been beaten by my coaches. I've now seen the light. I'm sorry for having a bad opinion about it before. So, not saying don't do email marketing. I am saying do it. I am saying that you must do these things in the right order at the right time, which is why we have the 12-step roadmap.
And Jen, let me jump in here, because I know I'm one of the people that has beat this like a dead horse. Here is the thing. With everything we are talking about in this baseline category and the basics, it's all about driving and delivering content and value to the network. If the only thing you do is send out emails trying to hawk your service or product, it will fail. Period. Space. If, however, you are constantly adding value to your network, adding content and value to the people around you, to your customers, they will love you. Same with the mobile app. If the only thing you do with a mobile app is text out specials and text out happy hours and text out programs that you're trying to promote, it will flop. Give, ask. Give, 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 ask. It's a very good model to use all of these tools and ways to communicate with your audience in a way to help them, assist them, support them in what their goals are, and you will win every single time. If you only market your own stuff and only try to sell every single time, good luck.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Thus, we practice what we preach. That's why you're here. All right, next, integrated CRM. The day of you having a web form on your website that sends you an email that you can possibly lose, that you have to rekey into a third-party system, no, no, and no. Because when you have inefficient processes like that, one, it creates a huge opportunity for risk of loss. Second, it provides you with the reasoning why you say the words, I don't have enough time to do the things above. Because you have inefficient processes in your business, like rekeying leads from emails into a CRM system, like not knowing which one of your marketing activities produces the most high quality opportunities for your business, those inefficiencies are preventing you from doing the right things that are going to provide you with higher quality leads and opportunities that are more profitable in the first place. Most businesses that I consult with, that we talk to, are literally in a hamster wheel cycle of failure in many ways, because they're unintentionally causing their own pain. They're doing things that are preventing them from being successful. So as we go through this program, right now you're getting a cursory view of the baseline things you should have in place in 2014. As we get through each one of the different steps, we will drill down into each one of these and give you hard, concrete, tactical ways to make money with these things. Last one, and most important out of everything, your most valuable asset ever is your current customers. We take months off, literally months off. I want to say we've probably taken 3 entire months off in 2013 from taking on one new customer or doing any sales and marketing activities strictly to take care of our current customers, to do things for them out of the box, to communicate with them more, to have meetings with them, and to develop programs like this for them, to reinvest in education, whatever we've done. So you've got to have a referral program and a customer re-engagement program. For those of you that have a database, you know, when I'm talking to the HVAC group, you guys have been in business for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Some of you have databases that have in excess of 100,000 contacts in those databases that were customers at one point in time. That is your largest asset that you could have for your business. So I don't want to see that become a waste or you just to leave it on a shelf. Throughout this program, we are going to teach you how to re-engage those customers, how to bring more value to them. A mobile app is a great way to do that. You're going to have to invest in things that are going to help your customers see you in a different light if you have no contact with them for the last X number of years. So you're going to have to, we're going to rekindle some relationships that may have been lost over the last few years, get those relationships back in order, get moving on a referral program. We're going to need video to do it. We're going to need email marketing. You're going to need a great website. You're going to need an awesome killer design. You're going to need a mobile app. You're going to need these things, but we'll do it over time. We are only going to teach you the things and focus on those things that we know are going to create financial opportunities for your business. We're very focused on just that. All right. Speed versus slow. You guys, you hear us all the time, 12-step roadmap to achieve accelerated results. That's our motto. That's what we do. There are things that you cannot get accelerated results on because you will be penalized. Search engine optimization, Pagerank, Edgerank, traffic building. Those are slow growth things, and if you try to do anything to push those, you can be penalized by Google. Now, there are things that you can accelerate your rate of performance in that you will not get penalized for, that will assist you in improving your positioning and your conversions with customers, with new prospects that are coming in. Building a friend base, fan base, follower base, increasing downloads, increasing the number of views, increasing the number of subscriptions, things that improve your overall authorship popularity rank or your social media trust rank or your or your website's trust rank. There are plenty of things that you have the ability to accelerate and move fast. I'm telling you, well, you have coaches out there that will tell you to take the slow road and everything organic and take your time. Forget that. You guys are in business. If you can hustle and get some things done quickly, so that when you have a new customer come to your website and they come to your website and they're kind of interested in doing business with you, they go glance at your Facebook. When you have a consumer, let me just throw this out there. If you have a website, well, no, I'm going to back up even further. You have a customer, and that customer refers you business. And when they refer you business, they come to your website. And when they go to your website, it looks like your nephew designed it. Problem number one. So if you look at a CRM system, there's a little button in every CRM that says probability. You can start it at 0%, you can start it at 100%. You're either trying to keep the probability of converting them to a client, or you're trying to build the probability, whatever your business process is. Let's say that when you first get a referral from an existing customer, which should be your gold mine, and that you have a 50-50 shot at closing that business, and as soon as they come there, website looks like it's built by your nephew, boom, drops 10%. Then they click on your Facebook page and they're like, wow, 37 fans, ouch. Yeah, it probably drops by more than that. Then they click on your YouTube account, they're like, well, maybe they really do a lot of videos that are going to teach me how to install or repair or maintain or whatever it is, whatever product or service it is. And they go look at that and they're like, oh wow, 4 videos, 8 views total. Now, I have to. You are a consumer. So get out of your own business for a moment and think about yourself as a consumer and you going through that process. Your mother refers you to a particular business, product, or service. You go to their website. Website looks like it's designed by friends, family, and fools. Boom, you go to their Facebook account. They've got 37 fans. You go hit their YouTube account. They have 4 videos with 8 views total. You look at their Twitter account, they set it up, but they posted once, they said they were going to post in the future and nothing else after that. What do?
Jen, can I jump in here a sec?
Absolutely.
Gang, guys, group, wherever. Jen went really fast, so I want to just take a second and slow it down because this is probably the biggest point of today's entire session, in my opinion. You must start looking at your business in the same way that you look at other businesses. I want you to think about this. If you go to somebody, if you are looking for a doctor, or you're looking for a dentist, or you're looking for somebody that you're about to engage in services for, how do you yourself evaluate their business? I assure you that your potential customer base is doing the same thing to you. So, Jen said it perfectly. Let's say you find a doctor and you go to their Facebook fan page and they have 37 people on there versus a doctor that has 15,000. Does not matter who those 15,000 are. All you look at is the number. Same with if you have 5,000 friends on Facebook versus, oh, I'm trying to keep it personal and you have 300 friends. Put it in perspective. If you have a marketing message and you have 500 friends on Facebook and your competitor has 5,000 friends on Facebook, here's the reality. You have to hit that message 10 times to hit the same amount of people that your competitor has to hit once. If you go to somebody's YouTube channel and they have 2 videos, and you go to their competitor's channel and they have 250 videos, who do you choose? You, yourself. If you go to somebody's web page and there's no place to even contact them, how do you contact them? How much time do you yourself spend trying to seek out how to contact somebody who makes it so complicated and hard to contact them? You don't. I know this. We talk about this all day with business owners, day in and day out. It is so important that reach becomes one of your focuses for the upcoming year. If you don't have an audience to talk to, you are behind your competitors. I just don't know how to emphasize this enough. We could probably spend an entire session talking about this.
We're going
Increase
to.
your reach.
I think we have an entire session. I can't remember what month it falls in, but we absolutely do.
It is, you guys, we're going to hammer, this is just going to be hammered. If you, I'm just telling you, think about how you yourself personally, when you're up late at night or you're waking up in the morning, how you evaluate the places that you write checks to. If you're in the HVAC community, think about this. When you go look for somebody that does that's going to install an air conditioner unit in your house, would you rather, even if you think they're the best company on the planet, if you go to their Twitter or their Facebook page and they have 7 likes and the next biggest competitor has 25,000, who are you going to call? It's amazing to me that people won't put themselves in the consumer standpoint and how they evaluate other places that they're about to spend money. So I'm sorry, that is my official rant for this morning.
Awesome. All right, you guys. So clarity. So we have 6 minutes left to go through a bunch of stuff. So we're going to move very fast. Clarity. The what plus the why. Your purpose plus your value equals clarity. Without clarity, you will resist the strategic change necessary to obtain what you really want. Those who have great clarity, they don't feel as stressed or as rushed. For me, I know what I want. When my website changes rank or changes position, or when I lose a fan, or I get an unsubscribe on my email, or a client cancels, does it stress me out in the same fashion that someone who doesn't have clarity on what they want and where they are and what they provide and where they're going and what they do, if they don't have that same clarity, I promise you it doesn't. I don't have the same stress level. I don't feel rushed. I know what needs to get done. I have the ability to say no to many, many things. I had somebody walk in my office earlier and say, you just got a request to have an on-site meeting. I looked at my calendar. For me to be able to do an on-site meeting, it would take 4 hours for me to drive, get ready, drive, go there, have the meeting, do the preparation before, during, and after, complete the recap, the thank you email, and complete the meeting. I have to say no to those things during certain time frames. So this is, and I have complete clarity that I know I can accomplish the exact same thing in 1 hour and get the exact same result without having to lose the time. So this is, clarity is extremely critical in your business and in your life. It's bigger than that. It's more than just money. It's more about a lifestyle that you want to create. Distraction. The opposite of focus is distraction. Maintaining your personal agenda in hard times is critical. You guys are constantly going to have people that want to pull you off your mission. You're constantly going to have people that want to be a distraction in your ear, whether it's the negativity or whether it's them trying to get you to go off the 12-step roadmap and go do something out of order. You know what? I want you to spend $10,000 on a pay-per-click campaign. I know you have a website that doesn't perform. I know you have you're spending SEO dollars on a website that's built in tables and can't be seen by Google, but I want you to go invest in this because that's what you should do. The answer is no. Your agenda, your values, your goals are critical to becoming a high achiever. Let other people help themselves. There are many, many times when you're going to run across somebody that pulls you out of what you're doing because they have an issue they need you to fix. And then they do it again. And then they do it again. And it becomes a routine and it becomes a habit. At some point, I would encourage you to not engage in the drama or attempt to solve their problem, but ask them to solve it themselves. Save that time for you and let you focus on your own goals. All right, you guys, high leverage activities. We're going to go through high leverage activities. You're going to create a list of high leverage activities. The goal over time is to figure out, you're going to have a huge, huge list that is going to feel slightly overwhelming, but we're not going to go to a place of overwhelm when you get done with the homework assignment. However, we're going to slowly come up with a plan to figure out what out of those high leverage activities can you offload to someone else so that you can add something more important to your list. There are a list, and I tell people in my company all the time, there are a list of things that only I can do. And then there's everything else. When you have me spend my time on everything else, the list of things that only I can do don't get done. I want you to have that same mentality, and I want you to protect your time. There are a list of things that only I can do. And make sure that you get a coach to double check your belief window on that, because it's quite possible you've convinced yourself of a truth that's not necessarily the truth as well. So we'll go through high leverage activities. All right, homework. We have 4. We started this session late. We're at the end of the month already, so a couple things are going to happen. One, you guys, we're going to do a bonus breakout workshop. We're going to do it this Friday. I can't remember what time it is. I think it's at the same time, but Kathy Marshall, of course, will notify everybody. We're doing a breakout session this Friday. We're going to give an extra hour to everyone that's interested in really diving into this and looking at some solutions to get moving. Your homework assignment is at 12steproadmap.com/homework. I'm going to go ahead and open this up now, and I'm going to move over and give you a quick overview of this assignment. So the link is right here. You just click on this link. You can make a copy of this document by going File, Make a Copy, and you can save it on your own. You can also download it, you guys, if you want. So you can say download as a Word document. All right. So the first section of this worksheet is considerations for your define and clarify project. So go ahead and put your name and your website name. Next, you're going to move into what is your purpose and why do you want to do it. Your purpose and then your vision. And that's going to come up with, this is going to help you create a clarity statement, which we'll do in the future. The next activity that we're going to go through is I want you to go through and I want you to make a list, and we're going to look at some of your worksheets. When you get done with these worksheets, if you guys are using Google Docs, you can share this worksheet when you're done, so you'll rename it with your own name at the top right up here. And you guys, by the way, step 2 of 12-step roadmap is learning how to use all the Google apps. So if you don't know how to do this, you will know how to do that in step 2, which is next month. But you'll rename it just by clicking this. And you're going to go through what you do in a day. And I want you to define the activities that you do in a day and put them in the right bucket. So first off, important and urgent. We have important but not urgent. Not important and not urgent, and just flat out time suckers. Things that take your time and have no value at all. So I want you to go through this list. You're going to do this more than once in the next 12 months. So this document you're going to keep, because we're going to come back to this document when we finish the section. And my guess is this is going to continue to evolve as mine does. In our company, we do this not only individually, we do this individually, plus we do this as an organization. And I have a copy of every single person in our company's roadmaps. And when I go back and I look at where they were last year versus this year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it's absolutely incredible to see the difference. All right, next thing, keep doing, stop doing, start doing. Once you know where you want to be in your business, I want you to make a list of the things that are helping you get there. These are your keep doing activities. The things that you know are not getting you where you need to be. For example, if you had a consulting call with us recently and you said, I'm investing $2,500 a month in a yellow page ad that's never brought me any business but 1 lead 2 years ago. I'm going to put that on the stop doing. That is a stop doing list. And if there are other areas that you know could potentially get your business but you're not sure, put it on a start doing. If you're checking Facebook 24 hours a day, but you're not engaging in business-related activities that are going to generate new leads, put it on the start doing. Also put it on your time suckers. If you're on Twitter 24 hours a day tweeting about things that have no value and you notice that you're not generating any new leads and opportunities from the time investment you have on there, remove it. And I'd rather help you figure out how to better leverage those 2 accounts so that they turn into income-generating activities. So again, if you have your clarity statement, you should be able to figure out what you should keep doing, start doing, and stop doing. Let's go ahead and take a stab at that. Again, if you want us to evaluate them in private, just let us know you want us to evaluate them in private. If you want us to evaluate them and have a conversation over one of our webinars in a breakout session, we'd be happy to do that as well. The last section of the homework is your HLAs. These are your high leveraged activities. Remember my quote that I promise to protect and leverage my time, money, resources, relationships, and technology. There's 3 sections here. First is, what is the high leverage activity that you need to be doing on a regular basis? Second is, are you doing it internally or are you outsourcing it? And you guys, you can set your own. Some people say this is the plan. Some people say this is what they're already doing. And then the frequency of that activity. You guys, with that, I know that we're out of time. I hope this is helpful to you. You have the ability to make a huge difference in the results that you get in 2013. Friday, oh, by the way, I just got a note. Friday will be at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for that breakout session. If you need more details, you can get with Kathy on that. Final couple things, coaching. You don't know what you don't know. And without strategic guidance, most people just keep doing. Therefore, they keep repeating the same results. With that, here's a handful of links that you need in order to get going. Casey, if you will wrap this up with, we can go ahead and wrap up the meeting. If anybody has any questions, we'll stick around for just a minute and we'll go ahead and get those answered.
Well, you guys, I just want to say I hope that you got, I should say we hope that you got some serious value and content out of today's training session. It's our goal and our mission to help you and support you in generating accelerated results. And that is the entire focus and basis of the 12-step roadmap. Everything that we talk about within terms of these 12 steps to accelerated results can be found at 12steproadmap.com. Really go there, explore, click around. This is designed for you and your company, your business. Get your team on there. This training will be so valuable the more people in your organization that are focused in on the same mindset. We would invite you to invite your entire organization to participate. If just the CEO or just the owner is on here, that's great. But imagine if your entire company was moving in the same direction and you didn't have to go back and try to reinterpret what is given to you to match your business, but your entire organization was focused on the same thing. The entire organization was focused. The entire organization understood the vision, the clarity, the map, the results to generate what's truly important to the business and the organization. That's our goal. So Jennifer, as always, absolutely amazing to hang out with you. I want to give a special shout out to Kathy Marshall for always putting together the training, the emails, and helping us really make sure that we're on time, tracking, getting the recordings out to you guys. She's an invaluable asset to our organization, so hats off to Kathy Marshall. I want to especially just take a moment and thank each and every one of you for being on the webinar. We understand that, like Google, you probably have a trillion things that you're evaluating and you're looking at, you're focused in on each and every day. And it means the world to us and to your business that you're here. And so I want to just take a moment to always say thank you for giving us your most valuable asset of all time, and that is your time. So with that, Casey Eberhart here in Los Angeles, on behalf of Jennifer Bagley and the entire CI Web Group DNet group of organizations, we want to thank you for being here. We look forward to next week's session, but also our Friday special breakout session at 11 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Central. You guys will get emails. Thank you so much for being here. Make it a great day. Now go give somebody else an absolutely awesome day. We'll see you next time.